5 free transfers for FPL Gameweek 17 with some luxury moves and some imposed moves with the Bruno Fernandes injury. Help me get this one to 1,000 likes. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Starting off with how my Gameweek 17 is going then. I'm recording this one on Monday morning. I'm on 64 points with Wilson to play. A bit of an average game week when the average points is 62. So I am seeing red arrows at the moment, which is disappointing. Some good clean sheets in the defence from Raya, Timber and O'Reilly. Richards though with a blank. It's the midfield that's really hurt me, and it's the midfield that's been so consistent lately, but I've had blanks from Saka, Foden, Bruno Fernandes and Bruno Fernandes, who went off injured. I really wanted to bring in Cunha this week for Bruno Fernandes. I realised on Friday night that I didn't have enough funds, so I did Anderson to Wilson instead. The jury's still out on that one. Thiago blanked once again in the attack. Haaland delivered, but it was a week where he was triple captained by many, so actually his haul did give me red arrows. No points on the bench though, really, so no regrets there in terms of selection. But yeah, Bruno Fernandes, it looks like he's going to be out for at least a couple of games, so in my opinion, given this busy festive fixture congested schedule, it is time to sell. Before we get into my moves then, let's have a look at the form versus fixture charts going into game week 18. So starting off with the form charts, and it's Manchester City out in front by some margin. Aston Villa in second and Leeds United creeping up to third ahead of Manchester United and Liverpool. At the other end of the table, we've got Wolves rock bottom still, West Ham down there as well. Sunderland, Burnley, Brentford are the teams getting pulled down. If we have a look now at the fixture chart, this makes interesting reading because it's West Ham who are top. There's quite a few teams that have got 3 home games in the next 4, which is really going to help them over the festive period. Teams like Burnley, Brentford, Crystal Palace as well. Everton and Manchester United are up there in the top 3. Manchester United with Newcastle at home and Wolves at home next. Makes it really tough that Bruno Fernandes has picked up this injury now. At the bottom end of the table, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Arsenal, Forest, Crystal Palace in the next 4. 3 of those 4 away from home as well. They have been in sensational form, but they're going to struggle to keep it going with that. And Leeds United down there as well. Sunderland away next, but then it's Liverpool, Manchester United and Newcastle for them. Can they keep that good form going in that period? Well, if we put all of that together to have a look at the combined charts, it's Manchester City still top. If you're not tripled up on them, why not? Manchester United second. Do we still need to be invested even with the Bruno injury? Leeds third to Liverpool in 4th and Arsenal 5th. Aston Villa dropped to 6th with those tough fixtures. Wolves, West Ham, Brighton. Do not invest in those teams. Sunderland and Bournemouth down there as well. Spurs and Chelsea, you know, on the way down there. So yeah, lots to consider there, and this is really going to heavily influence my transfer plans going into game week 18. Transfer time then, and I've got 5 free transfers, so lots of flexibility. 0.3 million in the bank. The team value is really killing me. One thing to know is that we do have one midweek fixture. Arsenal take on Crystal Palace in the League Cup quarter-final on Tuesday evening, so that should be the day that you're watching this if it does go out on Tuesday. So just take note of that before you lock in moves, but a lot will need to move early, and I can understand why, because the transfer market is very active. The Bruno Fernandes injury does not help that. You've also got to weigh up a lot of managers still with a lot of transfers from that 5 free transfer top-up. The player I wanted last week, who I still want this week, is Manchester United's Matheus Cunha. He's going to be my Bruno Fernandes replacement, I think. If you look at the last 4 game weeks, he is top for shots with 25, top for shots on target with 8, top for shots in the box with 15, 4 big chances as well, 2 goals, 7 key passes. Manchester United still have the fixtures. Yes, no Fernandes weakens the team, but Cunha is a selfish player anyway, so I'm happy to own him. A player that will be making way in my squad is Brentford's Thiago, who's been a bit disappointing since I picked him up. Just 3 shots on goal in the last 4 game weeks, 1 big chance. He is, you know, second to Haaland for goals this season, but I think he's carrying a bit of an injury, and that's why he's not been playing as well as we'd hope. The player coming in will be Ekitike. I think he's a must-buy this week. Wolves at home, what an entry point. He's scored 5 goals in the last 3 game weeks, Isak is injured and going to be out long term. That was Ekitike's biggest barrier to points, and he's thriving in a Salahless Liverpool team. That's really important. Again, some cracking underlying numbers from the last 4 game weeks for him as well, where he's had 5 big chances on goal, 14 shots, 6 on target, 11 inside the box. So I'd love to just make those 2 moves, but I'm 0.4 million off, so I need to free up another 0.4 from somewhere. In terms of cash cows, not got a lot of choice. I'm looking at Tior, the Newcastle defender. Newcastle have got some good fixtures, but Dan Burn injury is a big loss. They've not kept a clean sheet for a while, actually. I believe it was game week 7, the last time we've had a Newcastle United clean sheet, and with burnout, that's certainly not helping him. Obviously, he got that big score when he got that brace that time. Manchester United away next is not a bad place to sell. The fixtures do improve for Newcastle after that. Burnley away, Crystal Palace at home, Leeds at home. But I need the funds. At the moment, I'm looking at the Sunderland defender Ballard because I've only got 4.6 million to spend. Leeds at home feels like an okay entry point. I don't know how useful he's going to be for me beyond this week. I think looking game week 19, I'm probably looking a little bit weaker in terms of defenders. I'm maybe at a point where, you know, I have to play him against City at home. So it's not the best buy. I could get Elderete and save myself 0.6, which I may well do. It's whether I make these moves on Monday night while I can afford them or wait. Whether I should get a cheaper defender. If you've got an idea of how else I could free up the 0.4 in my team to get in Cunha and Ekitike, let me know whether you think I should sell to or sell someone else, whether Ballard is the best replacement. That's just where I'm at the moment, but I think it's probably going to be those moves anyway. Team selection time then for game week 18, and it's the double Arsenal defence once again with Raya and Timber at home to Brighton. I've also got Nico O'Reilly away at Nottingham Forest, and if Ballard comes in at home to Leeds, looks like a great fixture on paper if you discount Leeds' great form. Into the midfield, and I've got the big guns, Saka and Foden. Hopefully they're back in form this time out. Cunha comes in, Bruno Guimaraes is in, and Harry Wilson is in there as well. And it's the forward line I'm most excited about. I've got Erling Haaland away at Nottingham Forest and Ekitike at home to Wolves, with Mark Yu on the bench alongside Dubravka, Richards and Esteve. This was my backup week for playing the bench boost, and even though my bench boost failed in game week 16, my team was kind of fitness-wise in a lot better shape than it was here, so no regrets on that one. When it comes to captaincy, I feel like it's got to be Haaland once again. Away at Forest feels like a good enough fixture for him. His away form's actually been pretty good the last few game weeks. Away at Crystal Palace, it was 13 points. Away at Fulham was 14 points. So, yeah, Forest away feels like a decent enough fixture for him. Plenty of gaps between the fixtures as well. In terms of alternatives, Ekitike's got to be in the conversation. Saka, the midweek fixture kind of puts me off a little bit. But yeah, it's probably going to be Haaland captain, maybe Ekitike vice at home to Wolves. If you've enjoyed this video, then hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Let me know in the comments whether you'd make the transfers I'm making or suggest some others. I'm open to ideas. Thank you so much as well for the support on the channel this year. I hope you all have a great Christmas. Thank you for watching.